Alright, and we are back for round 2 of this Left 4 Dead Goonfogl game. Always a miserable time for everyone involved. Last round saw one team wipe to the tank immediately on his spawn, and the other team managed to make it past him even with leaving him at 300 health for a good 6 minutes. We are now watching the first survivor group get ready to drop in this second map on No Mercy, and I, for one, am hoping to see a really solid boom that just sticks the entire team. What do you think, Suit?
Well, I do like the standard boomer positioning. Let's see if he gets it. Not bad at all, because, you know, as many players know, the boomer gets an amazing... Oh, wow. Yeah, excuse me for not paying attention to that. Wow.
That hunter gets a... Wow. He is going all the way. Oh, he gets him off. Lemonade down to about 3/5 of his health while he's down. We've got Lewis getting him up there, but that was fantastic damage at the start there.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. I mean, something that's really worth pointing out here is that with boomers, you know, of course, frequently people do rocket booms, but as you get more experienced players, they can frequently just skeet them out of the sky just like a hunter. But with the start of No Mercy 2, you have that spawn point that does not require you to spend like 3 seconds falling, burping the entire way. So it's one of the spots that really actually favors a boomer as opposed to getting it popped like a huge chump immediately.
I would say that about 30% of activities I do in my daily life have me burping all of the way. I think that's a pretty accurate statistic.
Oh yeah, Jet brings up a good point that we've got... there he goes, Bill takes his pills. Something worth pointing out in terms of Left 4 Dead strategy is that, of course, pills bleed out. So, in general, you're going to want to strike a balance, I suppose, is the best way to phrase it, between... Oh, excuse me, we've got an attack coming in.
There's a boomer, it's Bill. He only gets one target, but the survivors are forced down this hallway. Looks like the rest of his team took way too long to get in there, just like you would expect a shitty unorganized team to do. And they're not going to take too much damage from those infected at all. It was pretty shameful on Hobo Joe's team's part.
Well, look at it this way, the longer they survive, the more possible it is that something interesting happens.
I suppose that's a point. I don't know if it's a good one,
optimist.
But it's a point. Yep. My personal favorite strategy for this part of the map is jumping up on that light fixture on the subway train and climbing over the top. I don't know if that's actually any good, though. Is that just a miserable idea or what? You tell me.
I've actually never done that, but just off the top of my head, I would say that actually would work fairly well, I suppose, because, of course, you know, it doesn't take a genius to see that this subway car is about as wide as a charger. And, you know, you can get any number of stumbles into spit and all that junk. Although, as I say it, the charger misses. Oh, and thanks for pointing out, we've got Hobo Joe controlling the tank. He's rushing it in. We have no fire, at least no Molotovs. I have not seen a gas can. We have Francis wielding the hunting rifle. That is Sunshine. And, oh, Hobo Joe really wants to get through this. This is a good call from him because the same thing that makes Charger so powerful in that subway car is the thing that makes tanks hate going through it because they have to run straight at survivors. And we've got 3 SMGs and a hunting rifle. This is a really hard position for the... Yeah, 40%. This is pretty nasty.
You know,
it's hard for the tank to pull in.
I'm a little disappointed with the infected. ISDNL, the Lewis character, was separated for a significant period of time at a rather fair distance there, and they failed to capitalize on that, which would have made a really good intro to the tank and given him a free range down that car. But they didn't really work it at all, and I'm unfortunate to see that. But Hobo Joe's moved in. He's now taking swings at Alice. Oh, he just went down. So he managed to get some damage in. There's no survivors left with their pills. We have 2 left with 1 real health and varying amounts of pill health. And ISDNL is still at about, what is that, 85, 90 real hit points. That's going to be their health bonus. So we're going to watch the team try and keep Lewis alive with his health bonus as much as possible. And Sunshine brings up second place with a reasonable amount of real health. So if they can close out without taking too much damage here, they've got a really good health bonus in store for them.
Yeah, definitely. Large part of it depends on how they play this this panic here, of course. I mean, this is a tricky panic to handle well because, you know, of course, in the days of Left 4 Dead 1, the spot under the pipe was perfectly safe. But now we've got something a little more complicated. I'm mostly concerned that someone's gonna walk too close to the hole and get pulled down. And we've got an attack, excuse me for babbling.
If that attack took down Bill, which leaves the infected in an okay position, they've already got the survivors down quite a bit on health. We'll see if they can manage to wipe them at the event up here. Given the current state of affairs, I wouldn't hold my breath, but we'll see how that goes.
Weapons over here.
Oh, and is that a witch?
Well, yeah, there is a witch at the top, so if they manage to survive the panic, they have to deal with a woman on her period. Good luck with that.
Oh, and someone is walking too close. Oh, I was just gonna ask, this is buff SI, buff C if you prefer. Sunshine in serious danger of dying. Witch is dead, but it looks like the common are gonna get him.
Yep,
and there he
Sunshine's
goes.
dead. You know, I'm going to take this opportunity to say that my girlfriend was on her period and made for a rather unexciting afternoon, but then we went out with a gay couple of friends of ours, and they were really pleasant to be around. And I realized one of the benefits of being gay is that you don't have to deal with your spouse having PMS, and I'm a little jealous, I gotta be honest.
Well, what if you're a lesbian, though?
Well, then you're just dumb. But all of the guys like you. You're also probably fat and disgusting because the much ballyhooed lipstick lesbian is definitely in the minority in that community. We should ask Shayon about that. Nico says that he's a lipstick lesbian, which I am not sure about. I don't know at what crossroads his sexuality and gender assignment lies, but I can tell you it is not one that is well traveled. Got an alarm going.
Will he stop that hunter?
Lewis is stopped inside the safe room by the hunter to make sure they get no health bonus or survivor bonus. Definitely a strong play as the rest of the team just withers and dies during the event, hoping to see something better out of the other team that was mostly miserable.
This is a good opportunity for Team Winetasters to pull ahead here. If they can get a similar, if they can keep up health on at least one person like Lewis had there in the first part of this round and keep it up, that is a serious amount of health bonus.
We have a deficit of about 650 points, which were reasonable. Wow, they rushed out of that safe room so fast. The infected did not have a chance to capitalize on it because they were unorganized, as goons are tend to be. Oh, and a boom for 3 people. Wow, alright, so let's see what kind of chip damage they can get out of this. They've already got a start to it. But it looks like all the SI are dead, and they're probably got about as much chip damage out of that as they're going to get. So the infected
yeah,
are
no
now
doubt the Hobo Joe is hammering this shit into their minds to get moving. He wants those points.
Hobo Joe is actually the courteous benefactor which has provided this TeamSpeak channel for us. So the next time you see Hobo Joe, make sure to thank him for the TeamSpeak channel and also tell him that he's a big gay bag, because that's what we do. We've got a jockey who's pulled Lewis away, and we've got him orange, and now red. He's down, but the rest of the survivors are green. Jockey's pulled him back in. We'll see if the survivors are going to go pick him up. That's a big jockey for their team. Ah, yeah, they did hit the new player. And he's playing a black character model, which automatically gives him -10 to intelligence.
so edgy I cut myself. We've got our next attack coming in. Charger, Smoker, Boomer, Spitter. That's a decent combination.
A boomer, Charger, Spitter, and Smoker on a tank. Not crazy about the Spitter, but if the Boomer can make it work and they can get a spit on that charge, they could easily wipe here. There's a charge. The charge is down through the smoke car, and we have a pretty good smoke, and the spit's on the charge, and the boom for all four. I like this SI attack, I gotta tell you. I'm not... Yeah, and Lewis is black and white. I'm not one to hand out compliments to Goon teams because they're generally atrocious, but that was pretty solid. They're going in with a severe health deficit onto this tank.
And that was also, speaking of the tank is up, that was also a good choice in terms of tank strategy, because you always want a tri-cap if possible, and by getting rid of the two non-capping special infected, they've, I believe... Oh, they haven't guaranteed it. ISNDL has got a Boomer, but they made it much more likely. And yes, here's the Boomer sack. He lands one. So this is looking really good for the infected right now, especially because the survivors aren't covering his approach. This could be really bad for them.
Yeah, do you think the guy stacked the Boomer there because his teams were screaming at him, or because he was dumb and just went in alone and happened to make the right play?
Wow, it's a good question, but does it really make much of a difference?
I suppose not. I have watched many people make the wrong play to the right outcome several times, not just in Left 4 Dead, but in this game. And I've got to say, it's always amusing when they do. Okay, so the tank is...
Oh, a nice charge there.
Yeah, the charge was solid. The tank is ravaging the rest of the team. We have a jockey.
Intercept the jockey.
Tank hits the jockey off. I don't know about that, but it looks like it's not going to matter. He's doing a pretty good job of cleaning these survivors out, and down goes Lewis, and that's the game.
Very interesting round there. Well played by the infected in particular right then.
Yeah, that was a solid attack. Even though the survivors had a good start with rushing onto that safe room, they weren't able to leverage that into more points at the end of the round. So we'll move into the next round at 362 to 808, and we'll be interested to see if the other team can match.